Many centuries ago, there was an old man who lived in solitude. His house, a minka located deep within a forest that surrounded a nearby village. Their land used to be watched over by an ancient goddess, but the town had long forgotten how the goddess had saved them by ensuring generous harvests, endless clean water from a spring, and a bountiful forest to provide their needs. Worse yet, they had taken to chasing away the roaming cats that had been considered blessed by her, out of fear they would bring bad luck upon them. The elder was the last one to remember what the goddess had done for them. A shield against life's hardships, a protective mother keeping a watchful eye upon her wards. He often visited a nearby temple dedicated to the goddess. Its grandiose walls and engraved shrine had fallen into ruins. The ceiling had collapsed at some point through the years, and the raging rain had begun pouring through, rotting the wooden floor into a hazardous surface to walk on. The villagers disapproved of the old man's pilgrimage.
"You'll attract evil spirits upon us,"
they would yell. But the old man was stubborn. He found one of the felines so despised by the townsfolk. The feline laid unmoving, fur matted with crimson, but cradled in its paws was a smaller version of itself, screaming at the top of its tiny lungs, urging its mother to feed it. Refusing to leave one of the goddess's agents to fend for itself, the old man took the feline in and cared for it, nursed it back to health. The small animal was wary at first, but quickly grew accustomed to its new protector, the two forming an unshakable bond. The villagers cursed the old man, aggrieved and afraid at the arrival of what they considered to be a bad omen. On a fateful early morning, the old man left his ward at home to go buy some food at the village. It had been a few hours already, and the kitten began to grow worried at its friend's absence. What if those villagers had attacked him the same way they had attacked Mother? The animal could not bear seeing another loved one struck down by such violent people, and so the cat gathered its courage and went after its protector, trekking through the forest and emerging in sight of the village. The villagers did not take kindly upon seeing the feline's presence. Stone upon fur, metal clubs glistening in the descending sun. The kitten ran, blows raining upon it, and eventually lost its pursuers. With crimson matted fur and half of its vision, it finally found the old man, napping next to a cherry tree, a peaceful expression etched upon his face. The kitten curled up at his side. The kitten closed its eyes. The cherry trees wept. The goddess did always hold a particular love for those taken too soon.
Where am I?
Asked the kitten.
Where is my protector? My friend?
"Welcome, young one,"
said a voice, emerging from the stars and nebula. Its tone carried all of the love in the world.
"You have suffered a great injustice, but you are safe, now and forevermore."
The cat felt something inside it simmer, bubble up, and erupt out. The celestial scenery turning into a familiar cherry tree. Warmth returned to the kitten's body, and it awoke, changed. The newly risen spirit found rage welling inside her. How dared the village take her away from her friend, offered by the goddess, was corrupted by such wrath. From helpful spirits to a demonic yokai. For years, the village was plagued by various accidents. Suspect only in their frequency. The crops withered under the sick light of the sun. The water turned poisonous, ichor-like. Disease swimming under the surface. Within the forest, life became wilder. The animals sought blood, the plants gorging themselves on the surrounding despair and growing thicker from it, isolating the village from the outside world. While enacting her revenge, the spirit had kept a watchful eye over her old protector. She knew he would not approve of her actions and could not muster the courage needed to face him. Instead, spying on the old man from afar, he had buried her old form next to his house. Sorrow and apathy having overwhelmed him. With time, he grew older and sicker. He passed away during the night. The villagers came to his minka a few hours later and found his body there. They dug a grave next to hers and held a funeral for him before leaving. The yokai finally dared enter the abode she had once called home. As she explored her friend's abode, she found his personal journal and decided to sift through it. Sketches of a tiny kitten playing with a toy. Notes on how he prayed for the goddess to forgive the village for their lack of faith and to keep protecting them. Recipes of meals he wished he could have cooked for his small companion. Tears ran down the spirit's face, digging grooves in the vengeful facade she had worn since her reincarnation. Fractures upon the stone case that she had imprisoned her velvet heart within. The village that had once been considered cursed by some evil spirit became a utopian haven, with food and water aplenty. The beasts and plants of the forest resumed their placid and peaceful lives and seemed aware of the spirit's presence, reassured by its influence. Trusting in their newfound guardian, plants grew and animals came to hibernate around the friend's old minka, far and away from the village and any other civilized site. Several townsfolk started reporting that they had caught a glimpse of a dancing cat-like creature, saving them from whatever misadventure was befalling them. Over time, felines came to be known as benevolent creatures. Once again, their kind was welcomed in the village's abodes and offered protection. As for the yokai, it moved into the old man's minka, her very own island of tranquility and respite, and made it her mission to bring as much happiness to the world as she could. After centuries of bringing luck and blessings upon the nearby townsfolk, she finally found a way to reach beyond her isolated forest and to share her gifts with the rest of the world. For she knew it was the reason the goddess had brought her back, and what her friend would have wanted her to do. To spread peace, love, and tolerance.
Hey friends!